Hey, how's it going everybody, and welcome back to The Beginner's Guide. I think we're pretty much coming up on the end of this one. Oh god, the literal end of things it looks like. This chapter is entitled simply The Machine. Ooh, spooky. Let's see what our block-faced guard has to say about getting us in. Ma'am? Whatever. Jeez, I mean, I guess quiet is the best option. Jeez. Okay. It calls itself Coda. Oh, Jesus. Alright. Coda, I've got to side with, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm back in This Is the Police. Oh, here we go. Yes, I'll be resigning as chief of the police. Yes, no, it has nothing to do with my relationship with Mayor Rogers. Alright, Coda.
And of course, it's the machine.
Right, the machine that was missing from the last one. Alright, Coda, let's see how self-loathing you can get. It's only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. Do it, Coda. Or don't. It's probably healthier not to. I don't know why I'm walking around. I just kind of feel the need to. I'm trying to be as nice as possible here, but he's not making it easy for me to be nice to him. Oh god, that's all the torturers say, isn't it? You're doing this to yourself! Oh my god, alright. Jeez, this is... My followers! It falls on me to deliver bad news. Ugh. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us show it that we are not failures. I mean, I guess if the machine is Coda, then this is technically the nicer option. Follow me! We will destroy everything the machine has created. Oh, and here we are back on the stage. Are we going to see this get, like, dramatically torn apart? Ha! It's a gun. Oh my gosh, we're actually destroying it. Well, not the stage, but... Jesus Christ. Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. But I have a feeling that that's supposed to be taken in not the very polite sense that I mean it in. God. Isn't that what you're scared of?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive.
Right?
And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Or something.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
No, I like this one. I liked the room. With all of its warm, cute ideas for games. Oh, okay, bye.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
But you didn't ask him, did you? Took this introvert and forced him outside. I'm sure that did not cause any resentment. What are we here to... Jesus. Oh, I can't. I'm sorry.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like
it's forcing me. I can't aim at anything else.
That I am good.
This is the only thing I can
when
do.
Someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work,
this makes me super
there's nothing
uncomfortable.
that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something. I really felt like I'd done something good. Like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
I wanna get off the ride.
How much they enjoyed his games. It was the best feeling. It's the absolute best feeling.
This is not what I signed up for.
So happy. So
I was promised goofy antics. All I wanted was goofy antics. Play the beginners.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while.
Yeah,
so
not
this
shocked.
Is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's.
Oh, jeez.
This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Ugh.
So let's take a look.
God. Alright, so he didn't really make it clear whether he asked asked Coda's permission to show the games to anybody. So I can't say I'm surprised that their relationship just fell apart the way it sounds like it did. Alright, so let's finish strong, I guess. Just because it sounds like Coda's creative life was ruined doesn't mean we can't have fun watching it unfold, right?
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Geez, seriously. Is this it? We're just gonna walk through creepy
this room
shadows.
Actually has a maze in it.
Wow.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Oh, can't hit that one fast enough, thanks. God, how do you even get through that? It's like... It seems pretty much impossible. You've got to be willing to get through, I wonder if the...
And to be fair, it's
Davey
not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Seems like he just doesn't want anybody to be close to him.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh. Well, you could have said that before I turned it all the way around. There, that should be good. Took long enough even knowing the code. These are very sensitive switches.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door.
Okay,
meaning
so
that it's literally
you just didn't want
impossible to
anybody to
solve
play
from
this
this
game.
side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point,
You
there's
just
actually
can't
just no
finish
way
it.
to progress.
Yeah.
And it's scary for me. The idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, that's it. That's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't
I
fix
know.
the problem.
You're not failing if he doesn't want you to
But
get
I can
through.
open this door for you, so let me do that.
Or at least I don't think so.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
I don't think you wanted you to understand
I don't know why
it.
I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
I mean,
I
it is a
remember,
beautiful
it's June of
space.
2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is.
And maybe you
It
never
wasn't
really
the guy
did.
I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Could be that he didn't know. Might it not have been malicious in any way. He might just have had no
felt
answer
so
for your
strongly
question.
that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy.
They must be, right? They must be duplicating the number of staircases that appear each time we come out. Because it seems to be getting like a bigger and bigger
someone
maze.
other than me.
Every time I look at the stairs.
But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Jeez. In Davy's defense, Coda sounds like a tough guy to be friends with. He seems like he really practiced art for his own sake and had no real interest in sharing it with anybody else. I think he tried to force him out of his shell and he had no interest in being there. Not everybody wants to be fixed. Wow.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Just wondering if the music comes back. Wow. Nope. Looks like we beat the maze. Stairs are gone. That's a wrap. I'd say, Coda got his point across and decided to leave it at that.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
What was that sound? Yeah.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
So he pretty much deliberately told you not to show them to people. but you felt some need to validate him that he never really felt. Wait, was Davey adding the lampposts? He specifically said that Kodo is adding the lampposts to all the games, right? Did I make that up? I thought that he said that Koda put a lamppost at the end of every game on purpose to show that that's what the ending was.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing.
Gee.
What does that mean?
I'd say it is pretty obvious what that means. Jeez. Sorry I'm being so quiet. I don't really know what commentary to say to what feels like such an intimate conversation. Should I be reading these out loud? I don't know. They're so obviously somebody else's words, it feels strange to.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Ugh.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work.
And there's no switch.
Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything.
Trapped in darkness forever.
So a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to.
Oh God, the room's getting smaller.
Be a good person. I want to know how not
God,
to hate
it's
myself.
shrinking and I didn't even notice.
I'm fading.
Oh, wow.
And all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
I was so focused on his dialogue, I didn't even notice that I was being crushed. Emotionally and physically. What, is that it? Just gonna leave us high and dry? Got one more game? Or not? Is this just gonna be like a vocal thing? Another lamppost.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Gotta say, this feels like the emptiest game yet, honestly. All the talk of how Koda was locking himself in and not reaching out, but... Oh, we're leaving. That's appropriate for an epilogue. Catching the last train out of town, huh?
Solution. Solution.
Alright. It's a pretty cool transition. Oh, I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like Davy is at fault.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Isn't every game a prison? At the end of the day, not trying to sound like
even now,
armchair
the
philosopher,
disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
What the hell? Sand in a mansion? Ew. Are we underground? Why did this mansion lead into a cave? I guess, I should shut up. It's just, we're just admiring the aesthetics while listening to Davy confess his sins.
On finding something to be driven by other than validation. What would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Sounds pretty great, to be honest. I mean, external validation isn't usually the healthiest thing to crave. Between tomatoes and heroin, it's certainly closer to the latter.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Did I just pay money to be somebody's psychotherapist? I think I might have. That's kind of the feeling I'm taking away at the end here is... I don't know. I don't know how much of this is even true, honestly. Is this a whole fake narrative that he made up to make a game about? Because if so, I'll admit it's a compelling one that he furnished with beautiful environments. If he really did publish this as a way to try and get an apology to somebody so he feels better, then isn't that almost just as bad? He never wanted his work to be seen by somebody else. But that's exactly what you're doing. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to play a lot of Cryptid the Necrodancer after this, that's all I'm gonna say. I need something light and fluffy. And this game is a lot less light and fluffy than I expected after knowing this guy made the Stanley Parable. Is this the same? No, it's not quite the same place, is it? It looks a little bit like the prison from that the game where we were supposed to be in the cage for an hour. But it definitely feels like we're supposed to take away that we haven't actually, like, moved anywhere. We've just been going in circles the whole time. Alright, you guys want to place bets on whether we're actually going to get to the end of this tunnel before the game cuts out? I think that's going to be, like, the dark ending. So, well, like, just before we get to the end. Is there thunder? Is a thundercloud coming up or something like that? sounds foreboding as hell. Now I guess it's gonna let us walk all the way to the end of the hallway. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. It's the from the one of the first games. We have to throw our body into the whisper machine. Great. So at the end, we get to hear the game developer whine a little bit and then kill ourselves. Or are we gonna zoom through the ceiling again? Yeah. All right. That's not a terrible way to end it, I guess. But we don't even get to see space in all its glory. We just... Oh, okay, we get to see space in all its glory. Jeez. Okay, this is pretty beautiful. I'm not saying couldn't be a little shorter, but it's a pretty great way to end it all. As far as skyboxes go, I'll give that one a 10 out of 10.
Turn back.
4R. Okay, maybe Coda was just a code name for R. I wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. I actually would be surprised, all things considered, knowing that what split them up was him showing if he hadn't considering he got in trouble for showing you guys games without permission, it would have surprised me if he had then made a collection of those games and used the guy's actual name. I bet R actually represents who the person actually is. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. This has been The Beginner's Guide. As I've complained several times now, it was a lot less light and fluffy and fun than I expected. It was really pretty intimate, dark. Really had the feeling of a confessional, honestly. I felt like I was joking. I'm almost surprised I paid money to listen to how guilty this guy felt. Which I guess, okay, well done, yeah. Which I guess if it was fictional is kind of worthwhile because he did a great job making me feel emotions, but if it's a real story, I don't know, it's just kind of... But I guess maybe that's the point, is that we don't know. Anyhow, I'm probably going to do my own epilogue in City Skyline style, so if you guys want to hear more of my thoughts on this game, then I'll see you in that. And if not, you can just, I don't know, skip it. Either way, I will see you the next time I see you. Later days.